Do you want to create a full campaign of fundraising appeals, maybe for your year-end or spring fundraising push? In this video, I'll show you how to do just that with FundWriter. Appeal campaigns are valuable because the perfect appeal doesn't exist. Some people will respond to a heartwarming personal story. Some might respond to more logic-based appeals. Some donors like to give early. Other donors like to give late. When we send a one-off or general appeal, we are only giving ourselves one chance to engage and convert our readers into donors. An appeal campaign gives us multiple opportunities to reach our donors at the right time and with the right messages. So today our goal will be to build a campaign for the fictitious Oak Street Food Pantry. Today we're building a year-end campaign, so we're going to aim for one email per week in December, plus a final deadline reminder on the 31st. That's 5 total emails. Now let's look at the models available to us in FundWriter. We see here that there are 11 models under the appeals section. We can see that some of these have names like core belief and human impact, while some of these others start with segment. For almost all appeal campaigns, we recommend using the core belief model for the initial appeal. It's a proven appeal approach, and it is a great way to set up the other story-based appeals that will follow. So here we'll click on core belief, and we will get to work drafting our first appeal. If you'd like to read my inputs, you can pause the video here. Now that our inputs are ready, I'll click Write More. We'll wait a few seconds. Here we can see we have the start of a few different drafts. I like this one. Let's follow this thread. Then we click Write More. As always, when you click Write More, we're going to get 5 drafts that all start with the original text, but then continue in their own unique directions. But here we are. We have our new text. Of course, it'll be best to give it some extra human attention, but for our purposes, we will say email 1 is done. Now, we can copy it into a Google Doc or whatever we are going to use to circulate our drafts for feedback from the rest of our team. Now that email number 1 is done, we can return to the writing model section and pick out which of these models we're going to use to fill out the rest of our campaigns. Let's see. For number 2, I'll use human impact. Human impact is great at telling the story of someone who experienced a positive change thanks to our organization's work. For email 3, let's use It Takes a Village. Now with this model, we can tell the exact same story, but it's going to focus on the staff members who played a role in that change. For email number 4, I'll use research-based. This model is going to lean on your organization's authority and expertise. For our final email, we will use the December 31st email reminder. You can use any of these models more than once to build out your campaign, but it's best to include some variety. We're going to move ahead and say that we've written our 5 general appeals, and maybe there are a few specific audience segments that we care about. FundWriter has built-in models that help you quickly create versions of your appeal for different segments. You probably don't want to create unique drafts for each of these segments, but there might be a few that are especially important to you or that you want to try testing. To get a sense of how this works, let's look at the non-donors and clients model. This model is great for converting existing contacts and subscribers who haven't donated in the past. Non-donors usually respond well to a light ask sprinkled with a bit of education about your organization and your work. And we're going to take the text of our general appeal and paste it into these input boxes. Now that we have our text in the input fields, we can click Write for Me. We'll give it a few seconds to generate drafts. And here you can see that FundWriter has given us a few different options based on our general appeal. So take a look at this. It is positive. It focuses on the impact of the gift rather than the organization's need. Now this certainly isn't an appeal that you would send to your repeat donors or your top donors, but this is something that might resonate with our non-donors. So we're going to do a test. We're going to send this message to half of our non-donors, and then we'll use the general appeal for the other half. Once we're done, we can put everything into a Google Doc and send it around to our team for comments and edits. No matter what segment is important to you, we probably have a model that'll help you optimize your general appeal. Remember, we can do this for each of our 5 general appeals that we made. We've walked through all the steps that it will take for you to create a full campaign with segmented appeals for different audiences in less time than it would normally take to write one general appeal. If you found this helpful or if you have any questions, you can always email me at garrett@fundwriter.ai.